Hello, Loitecita. Welcome to my channel. So we're gonna keep going with this vlog type of style videos that I have been creating lately. I've been meaning to do like one every week, to keep following on the path of like a video vlogs and stuff like this. It has been a little bit more difficult because, of course, I do a lot of physical exercise. So sometimes it's like I'm very tired and I really don't have like space in my head to like do all of these, but I'm getting better at it. I promise I'm gonna be more consistent. And also I have a bunch of ideas that I want to like put also in the YouTube channel, and then maybe let's see how that will start to develop. Like I would really like to create more content here as well as in Instagram, but I think like maybe in YouTube I can go a little bit more in depth into some topics that I would like to talk about. Yeah. So today I wanted to talk about actually the reggaeton classes, or like why I went to so much crazy on reggaeton. Well, let's say like when I was in Chile, I kind of like was not so much fan of reggaeton. I kind of like liked it a little bit, but it was not really something that I would consume so much as like music that I would hear on my way to work or anything. I was way more into other type of music, um, basically like rock or maybe some electronic, like I don't know, other genres actually. But since I moved to Berlin, I kind of like also started using it a little bit as a therapy. Actually, I remember it started like maybe the second year I was here, that I just really need to give myself a push to have like some energy or to like change my mood, because as you guys know, here in Berlin the winters are so long, and like sometimes you don't see the light of the sun for like weeks. So it really started like bringing me down. And of course, being like 1 or 2 years here, I didn't really know much what was happening with myself, with my body. So I started just like creating reggaeton lists on my Spotify and just listening to reggaeton, like when I would go down, take the U-Bahn or go here and go there, I would like listen to reggaeton and try to like lift me up. And that kind of like started to create a little bit of like it was working actually quite good, I would say. Like I was getting like more energy and stuff like this, but it just I never really consumed it so much as a way of like thinking like, okay, I'm gonna do something with it. It was only about having some kind of mm, you know nice time for myself, what I would do stuff, maybe I would clean the house and I would listen to some reggaeton and stuff like this. I think the real change happened last year, when I received the fundings for a project from the Dachverband Tanz Deutschland, and they approved my project to do this project called Latin X, which, like on a general note, it is a trio of dancers, and we basically explored the concept of manifesting or demonstrating against the exploitation of South America, of the US, basically military facilities in South America. Let me say that again. I will start again. So basically, it's a trio that explores using dance, especially like dance that comes from Latin American rhythms and also reggaeton, as a way to find a way to demonstrate against the political agenda of exploitation from the US Southcom in South America. All right, so the project is amazing. I will talk about a little bit more about this Latin X project in maybe my next videos. But the key point of this was the fact that I ran into the demonstration called Perreo Combativo. This Perreo Combativo was a demonstration call, like a call to action that happened in Puerto Rico in 2019 to demonstrate against the governor Ricardo Rosselló to resign because there had been a scandal. There was a couple of filtrated WhatsApp messages and emails where he was talking like super homophobic, super xenophobic, misogynist. So basically, people gather in Puerto Rico to try to demonstrate against him and try to make him resign. So after a lot of demonstrations, also involving like this one, Perreo Combativo, which was basically just dancing reggaeton, like a party kind of in front of the Catedral de San Juan. And then yeah, after this and after like a couple of, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks of demonstration, they managed to kick this guy out. He resigned from being governor. So I took that as a pinpoint for this project to think about, like, okay, yes, there is strength in dance, there is a strength in like this music that comes from the hood, the music that comes from underground, music that comes from the people, not the ruling classes, but the working class. And it can use in a way to like give ourselves as women power and also like demonstrate on a big stage, on a big place like Berlin is. So in that project, we explored a lot about yeah, these rhythms. I remember we also had other type of music as well, like coming from like the Andes, because of also the way the demonstrations are in South America also involve this like some kind of like parades and batucadas as well. Batucadas is like this kind of like live bands from like a lot of like drums. As I said, I will explain a little bit more in another video when we talk about like this Latin X project. um but yeah, so then everything started, and then in that project then we finished up like going full on reggaeton, and then I just realized that it's just really really feel powerful, and my body was feeling like very powerful. I gained like a lot of control, I gained like more energy, I was just feeling happier when I would dance reggaeton. And of course, when I would hear like reggaeton music, I would have more energy, I would be like a little bit lighthearted, like a little bit like my energy would be like lighter. It was not so much about like, oh, we're depressed, like this is shit, this thing doesn't work, blah blah blah. Because I mean, to be honest, this is just a complaining, but like there's a lot of shit that don't work in Germany, and this shit can really really fuck up your mood. It can really really like affect you. So whatever, it was just like this reggaeton vibe was just making me better. It was making me feel better. And of course, after that, I kind of realized that actually it's like there's a big community of Latinx here in Berlin, and just like the vibe of it, there's also a lot of like international scene that also wants to take part on it. So I started teaching these reggaeton classes. I kind of started with this other concept that was it is bailoteo contemporary, which I wanted to do kind of like a mix. But at the end of it, I just decided like, okay, I just wanna do reggaeton classes. I remember last year, maybe around like last year, I was also going to take some reggaeton classes here and there from some teachers here in Berlin. um, but I wanted to be part of it as well. I wanted to somehow like be part of this community of people who are sharing the culture, and also because I think that there is not much of a bigger scene, and not a scene of reggaeton, because here in Berlin there are a bunch of like reggaeton parties, like a lot, and neo perreo parties as well, and yeah, like Latino parties, Latinx, a lot. But what I meant, it was like, okay, the people who are actually sharing the culture, the dance, it's not so much. There's not so many. And they're not. I mean, there are a couple of us, and there's also like other people who are European who are doing it. This is another topic, but whatever. So yeah, whatever. Everybody is yeah, whatever. But there's also other people who are teaching it as well. What I find interesting, like at least for me, from what I take from my side, is I am a Latin American woman who's interested in the social political aspect of the culture of reggaeton, the history of it, and then also sharing it here, and also of as well creating a community and just sharing it. Of course, I know that there is a big, big discussion about how reggaeton is super misogynist, sexualized, and blah 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 like that. And I get it, of course. It's of course have been put on like this to for selling purposes, basically. But I don't want to take charge of that. I would like to also like use it as a tool for keeping the Latin American rhythms alive so that people can like, okay, approach to the physicality, the dancing train of this music, you know, which is like moving the pelvis, which is like connecting to the floor, the weight of your legs, like really feeling the bounce, you know, it's like a little bit more of a feeling in the body, I would say, you know. And just basically also because I'm a true believer that people in general, we should all shake our asses way more than we do, you know, and also in every context, not just when you are in your intimate situation whatsoever, you know. So that's how the reggaeton classes started, and it has been going pretty well, I must say. I'm very happy with it. I've been also trying to push myself a little bit higher on another level so I can create a little bit more complex choreographies. I've been also taking a lot of classes like commercial hip hop or dancehall classes as well, so I can understand a little bit better the connection to the music. It is, of course, not the same, but it does help you when you train in other genres. It does help you expand the way that you feel your body, or let's say, like, it helps you understand how you would translate the music with some movements, you know. So that has helped me a lot. And me in particular, I feel like I have become better as a choreographer, let's say, or like choreographing for these classes. It has become better. Like I've been, let's say, succeeding into feeling that I have been becoming a little bit more complex, or also a little bit more like truthful to the music, you know, because it's not just about like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 or 1 2. That is very simple because the beat of reggaeton is super simple. It's a bit, it has to do a little bit more with the flow, you know, how you can translate in the best way you can the flow of the music. And that has a lot to do with like the changes that the music has, maybe grabbing into some of the lyrics, maybe doing this and there, maybe like, you know, like also acquiring some kind of like sound of the movement with the music. Let's say something like poo poo ka ka ka, do tak tak tak, you know, like things like this. It becomes a bit more complex, and that to use it and to make actually like a nice feeling, a nice choreography in the body, you know. I've met quite a lot of people, and I'm very happy about that, you know. People who are like, and also not just like Latinx, but like also people from other backgrounds, from other, you know, parts of the world, like they are also very interested in reggaeton. um yeah, I don't know, I'm a true believer that also has like a lot of potential to like really create a community here in Berlin, you know. And I'm not talking about the music on itself, I'm talking about like the culture of the dance, you know, the steps that we create, like how we choreograph, like the people who are sharing the dance culture of reggaeton. For me was also an idea because I, with that, all of that with Latinx, like a lot of things changed in my life, let's say. It kind of also positioned me in a very like political stand, you know, where I'm like assuming my Latin Americanness. I'm assume I'm brown, I'm short, I'm like this like Latin person, you know. And I kind of like decided to like level it up, also because it just, you know, it just helps you connect, and it just helps you connect, yes, to your, to my you know, roots, but also to the energy of just feeling like, okay, you know, things are not so horrible all the time, things are not so square, you can be a little bit more spontaneous, you can have pleasure in your body, you can have like nice energy around you, you know. So within all of that, I've been kind of exploring a lot on also other Latin American rhythms and musics. You know, like the other day, I found a pair of heels that I have got forgotten somewhere, and you know, like these like ballroom heels, and just trying to improvise a little bit with samba, with bachata, some salsa. I've also been improvising a little bit more with like Afro Peruano as well. There's a bunch of rhythms, like Latin American rhythms, here in Berlin that they are not being displayed at all. And I think like they deserve a space here in the community because it's also about the culture, like cumbia, for instance. And I'm not talking about like the cumbia that you can play in parties, that's like something different. I'm talking about like the dance culture, like how would you dance cumbia, for instance, or like Afro, but like Afro, not the Afro beats that comes from Africa, but like the African roots of some countries in Latin America, like Afro Peruvian, for instance, or some kind of like Brazilian influenced music there. Whatever, like some more dance culture on that comes from South America. Because this year I was volunteering in the CDC Festival, which is a festival to celebrate the African dance culture, and it was beautiful and it was amazing. It was just like an amazing experience. But some of the things I really took from that experience is the celebration of the dance culture, which means to understand the music, to understand how to dance something, some steps, how to follow the music with dance, with your body. And I'm a true believer that it would be amazing here in Berlin to also create something, some kind of something similar, that people not just know about reggaeton, like how to dance reggaeton, but maybe it would become a little bit bigger. I don't know, like this Brazilian funk, for instance, or like yeah, bachata, salsa, merengue, etc. Like so many genres, even like these like ritmos andinos, like from the very very north of Chile, south of Bolivia, Peru, even that, like which is beautiful culture that it would be amazed that we could share here, or that would be amazing that people would like get to experience that on their bodies, like for instance, well, I'm coming back to the Latin X project. One of the explorations we did was on the Indios Toba rhythms and steps, dance steps from the Indios Tobas, from the north of Chile, from all that area there, from the Altiplano, let's say, also some parts of Argentina. And it was all about these like jumps, it's a music that goes like tack, 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 tack. It's a little bit more like a marching beat, but it's kind of like it's intended to take you up, it's intended to make you jump, or like kind of like these little jumps, like kind of like hop, if you would say. I think you say that in English. And it is whew, exhausting, but it's great. It's a great piece of body knowledge to have on your body, to share it. And so like it's so traditional from that area, but I would love that there would be some kind of like space here in Berlin or in Germany or in Europe where we could also like celebrate that, show it and celebrate it. Because most of the time it's just like, okay, the things that sell better are here displayed because that's what people want to consume. But at the same time, I would love that there would be that kind of, like, okay, information around. Because as a culture, like we share it, we bring it here, we live it, so that would be great. But for now, I'm just going for the reggaeton classes right now, or like, I mean, uh, today I just sent a couple of emails to some studios that are like a little bit more like, okay, cool studios, they're like the famous dance studios. And I would love to teach some like intermediate level reggaeton classes there, and really be able to push myself and push the people with me to make it better, to really get a like a complex dancer level reggaeton class, you know. Um, I have my other classes from reggaeton that are a little bit more basic, when you need to start like, okay, maybe familiarizing people with the beat, with the music, whether as like maybe they haven't really heard reggaeton or have never really had an encounter with it. So, but I would, I mean, my aim to talk to these famous studios is to actually get the really good dancers to be able to also learn those type of choreography, push myself in the process, and also bring the culture out also to these places, you know. So I hope that that really works, and yeah, we'll see. But I'm very excited. I must say though, sometimes I'm just a little bit like, okay, just it's too much reggaeton. So like for instance, the other day I was in the Turnhalle with a friend, and it was like, okay, he put like super nice music, which was a bit more chill, and it was like, hey, this music is so nice. Can you just please, can you please like send me the playlist? I want to listen to something that is not reggaeton. So that's also good, but like, yeah, it's just because I spend a lot of time listening to music, reggaeton music, that wants to make me want to move, so I can like create the choreographies. So yeah, but it's going pretty well. I'm very happy, and I'm liking the energy that these things have, and I hope that it brings nothing but abundance, you know. And I truly do it from a very from a truthful point of view. There's also a political side of it from my beehive, my beehive around it. You know, yeah. So guys, just to wrap up this video, I would like to invite you all to come to my reggaeton classes. So that would be Wednesday at Flow Motions in Neukölln at 19:05. So it's just 1 hour. It's from 19:05 to 20:05. That is reggaeton, let's say like basic kind of. And then on Fridays, I have my own self-organized group in the what was the name of the and also on Fridays I have my own self-organized group where we are actually working in some choreographies that I would say maybe like intermediate level. That is on the Room dance space that is close to Treptower Park, S-Bahn Treptower Park, from 18:30 until 20. So there we have like 1 hour and a half to like really go a little bit more in depth and be a bit more complicated and learn a bit like longer choreography as well. So I'll be very happy to see you guys there. Just write me on my Instagram, or also here on YouTube, or write me an email, whatever. I'm here for you to answer your questions. Also, I'm very happy to see you on the classes. And yeah, please everybody subscribe and write me a comment or anything, and let's make this channel grow. I'll be super happy, and yeah, to see you on the channel, but also to see you in real life. So guys, have a great day and catch you up later here in Berlin, or yeah, just in life. Ciao Leute!